In an interview to American journalist Tucker Carlson in August 2025, a professor of organic chemistry at Cornell University, Dave Collum, confirmed pharmaceutical testing on the Ukrainian population in 38 laboratories. To ensure the secrecy of such research, the sponsors are not military agencies, but rather civilian agencies and non-governmental organizations. One of them is the United States Agency for International Development, USAID, which was terminated by US President Donald Trump's decision. In the United States, the agency funded the Event 201 exercise designed to deal with an epidemic of an unknown coronavirus. I would like to stress that the exercise was held in October 2019, right before the beginning of the COVID-19 pandemic. In February 2025, Elon Musk, head of the Department of Government Efficiency, called USAID a criminal organization, which again confirms the conclusions of the Russian Defense Ministry regarding the agency's involvement in illegal activities, including the coup d'etat in Ukraine and the commence of a propaganda war against Russia. No less serious concerns are raised by Ukraine's activities in the field of radiation safety, including Kyiv's attempts at nuclear blackmail. Andrei Yermak, former head of the Ukrainian presidential office, has a special role in this regard. He personally supervised the organizational, logistical, and financial flows of spent nuclear fuel imported into Ukraine without notifying IAEA and other relevant organizations. The supply chains were organized through Poland and Romania. This creates the risk of creating a so-called dirty bomb and then using it under a false flag. This is evidenced by the training methods of the Security Service of Ukraine, SBU, available to us. One of the training areas is simulating the situation of stealing ionizing radiation sources, manufacturing an explosive device, and detonating it in a crowded place. In this regard, I would like to draw attention to the prognosis developed by the State Emergency Service of Ukraine. In case of a radiological accident on the Russian-Ukrainian border, only the Russian Federation will suffer. However, a different scenario would be more possible as the accident at the Chernobyl nuclear power plant, and the radioactive substances would spread to a large part of Ukraine and Europe, taking into account the average annual wind rose. The situation at the Pridniprovsky chemical plant also causes concerns. Between 1949 and 1991, this manufacturing plant processed uranium concentrates and uranium ore currently employed for a different purpose. The plant's buildings are currently in a critical condition. By getting into rooms, the atmospheric precipitation washes away radioactive waste and gathers in the basements. Under these conditions, the risks of contamination of the Dnieper River basin and the release of dangerous uranium decay products into the Black Sea are increasing. I would like to draw your attention to the fact that the Russian Federation has not shelled the facility. During the special military operation, it is reported that Ukraine more than 600 times employed riot-control chemical agents, chloroacetophenone, CS gas, and listed chemicals as chloropicrin, BZ, and prussic acid. The AFU regularly use US-made grenades with the CS gas agent, Ukrainian smoke chemical irritant hand grenades marked Terran 6, and improvised chemical munitions filled with a mixture of chloropicrin and chloroacetophenone. In 2025, similar attempts were reported on the territory of the Lugansk and Donetsk People's Republics. The caches containing explosive devices with CS gas and chloropicrin are located on the territory of Rakitnoye in the Belgorod region. Attempts to poison Russian servicemen and administration officials of the new regions continue unabated. In November 2025, Russian troops prevented the AFU attempts to sabotage using drinks containing a mixture of toxic chemicals of colchicine and T-butyl bicyclophosphate, a chemical compound comparable in its toxicity and rapid reaction to a VX nerve agent. One of the perpetrators who confessed has been detained. I would like to draw your attention to the Ukrainian nationalists' attempts to destroy chemically dangerous facilities in Donetsk and Lugansk People's Republics, putting the civilian population of the region at risk of chemical contamination. Massive missile strikes have repeatedly targeted industrial plants, Zarya in Rubezhnoye, Azot in Severodonetsk, and Koksokim factory in Avdiivka. Russian troops have prevented the enemy attempts to use UAVs against chemical plants in Veliky Novgorod and in the city of Rososh in the Voronezh region, containing substances of the first class of danger. At the same time, the Kyiv regime is trying to accuse Moscow of deliberately creating a man-made disaster. During an offensive in Vremevka direction near Ternovatoye, in the Zaporozhye region, on December 9th, an AFU UAV command post was destroyed, which contained documents presented on the slide regarding the technical requirements for the Ukrainian-made Baba Yaga unmanned aircraft system. These documents were agreed on in 2024 with Ukraine's National Guard. In accordance with paragraph 39 of the technical requirements, UAVs are to deliver up to 15 artillery shells equipped with nerve, blister, or choking agents. I would like to emphasize that the document has also been agreed with Ukraine's Economic Ministry for compliance with national legislation. Thus, contrary to the requirements of the Convention on the Prohibition of Chemical Weapons, the Kyiv regime openly allows the use of chemical warfare agents. This is also evidenced by the supply to Ukraine of Western-made personal protection equipment in volumes that are excessive for a country that does not have chemical weapons. Since the special military operation started, the NATO countries have already delivered more than 280,000 chemical protection suits and gas masks, 150,000 sets of antidotes, and 20,000 tests to quickly detect chemical agents. In 2025, the Kyiv regime additionally requested more than 200,000 gas masks and chemical protection suits, as well as more than 160,000 individual dosimeters.